What is the difference between maturity and immaturity? Think fast. Based upon my active intelligence status, which is beginning to concern me, that may more and more be non-existent, I take responsibility. I take responsibility for everything that happens in my life. Some people refer to the good, the bad, the ugly, but I try to keep my mind disciplined, razor sharp, as bright as a bright light burning called the sun. So I don't refer to the tree of good and evil. See, most of people have been programmed to think in certain ways. But it's much more invigorating to discover that before the sperm donor joined with blah, 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 see, to most people, it's about the external package. That's where I got you, baby. Oh, baby, 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 ba 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 Cosmocratorius. What did I just ask you a little while ago? Between maturity and immaturity. What does an immature person want? I want all the universe to take care of me. If I don't get my way, today I want to walk out the door and you can keep your Vietnam warrior now. No, Private E1 wine bag. You are not Second Lieutenant Amy Winehouse. Have a nice life. A mature person takes responsibility for their life. Now change the word good to create a way out. The way in. Wait a minute right there. You know darn well in Arkansas that the way in is the way out. Now you're beginning to concern me just a minute. What did you say that deal about Satanism? Satanism is kind of a little bit about opposites, because we're not like the rest of you people that think that you're going to beat us to death if we don't Give an example. Every head bowed, every eye closed. Can you imagine 33 AD, Yeshua HaMashiach doing that? Do you know that very spirit is Antichrist? Yes, I'm challenging you. Never once saw the Son of God say, all of you here today, bow your heads and ask me into your lives, into your hearts. You know why? That's a sham, a charade, a parade to make you puppets. What do I got to do next, Pastor? Bow your knee. How about if I just stand with my eyes wide open? And if you religious people ever figured out, sure, even form the one world religion, I'm still going to be me. Whoever you are, whatever you do, man. Heaven is Hell Ministries. Now that kind of got my attention. Hey, are you that Heaven is Hell Ministries? What do you mean by that? Because to get to heaven, you got to go through some serious hell, brother. Hey, Brother Kanye, let's go. I take responsibility for myself, by myself, for the planet Earth underneath my feet. Please don't drop any more hydrogen bombs on top of my head. You dropping bombs away, people? Just give me a moment to think for myself. Now, if you agree with me, say, I concur. If you disagree, right, I non-concur. Or maybe you sit there and say, I don't know whether to agree with. What are you doing here? What part of invitation only do you not understand? When you escort these people that think they're going to figure out whether Satan is of God or of Satan or not. Tomorrow night, we're going to cast Satan out of Satan. Let's go to church. They're going to do what? What did that genius at the First Baptist Church say? I don't think that Satanism is of God. Well, you've got to be the brightest. Ever studied comparative theology? Well, stay with me if you can for more than 60 seconds. Have you ever compared the difference between Catholicism and some of your messed up ways of thinking that if a woman wears open-toed shoes, I've looked at I told you I'm a freak because that toe right there is longer than my big toe. It's like the big toe's right here, and then put the Washington, D.C. monument in. It sticks out. But who cares? I'm so far beyond the anomalies, unless you're Mitch. I did that. We did that as a running joke to run through time for Operation Harem Scarum. Because what did Billy Barty do in the movie Harem Scarum? Clip, where did my phylactery go? Lady says, what? Did you steal my phylactery? What's a phylactery? It's kind of like a prophylactic. But don't look, you got open-toe shoes. What kind of person thinks she's wearing open-toe shoes? I've never thought of my toes as being my dick. Come on and help me, praise the Lord. If you want to worship goats, hold the line. Who said want to? I don't want to do anything. I live by one word, by my will alone. It is my will to be able to go to my front porch and do what I will, think as I will. Keep in mind, like I said over there in that spot, Want to find how many people are determined. You know, this guy, we're going to have to kill him. I've been in that basic combat training, done my time in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. If it's true, half of us are already dead yet. I'm the one that they said, guinea pig number one for sure, for sure, for sure. Showed up at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, already running with all that stuff that they call venereal disease from hell. If you would get into, exactly, there you go. Ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. Bells are ringing. In Catholic tradition, you know the Catholic tradition, if you ever studied the catechism, maintains that Hasatan, now you got my attention, was an archangel who through rebellion was cast out of heaven and became the god of this world, Cosmos Quatorus. Now that's what I have a problem with. I was doing fine living inside the sun. Now you've banned me from the sun and banished me to the earth to do what? Reign over the kingdoms of this world. Let us go talk. So basically, you don't believe in the Pope, so you want to shoot him dead in Dallas. Do I understand you, people that live in Cleveland County, that that's what you want to do? All unite to bring everybody in this county under one Baptist authority, the Baptist Mental Health Department. You're going to shoot the Pope dead and put him in the morgue in the Baptist hospital? Not if we can help get him to the nearest Roman Catholic hospital. People, I just don't think are the most intelligent people in the universe. As Reverend David Paul, my pastor from a long journey ago, when I used to watch KAIL. Now, Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, I got a quick reminder. It's at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. And immediately a flash that I had made a commitment in 1979 and 1918. Don't get ahead of me, Wayne. Say, you got to deal with the Twin Towers. That's a long way out to 2001 to reach out there for that gun. But I was there, and he said, who will fast and pray for me 15 minutes every day? I was there because I want to test this. At Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, it's been probably 3 years since I held true to that commitment. But I, just like a lightning flash, bow your knee, pray. Zip, zip. I was doing guard duty and this hellacious storm came up. My wireman to the left of me got zapped and my second lieutenant got zapped. It's like it happened in a lightning flash, just like when I was on the scraper, a 62 Echo being pushed through the dirt by the bulldozer. And just as he turned, he clipped the telephone pole. Zzz, talk about a zip line. But this is not an accident. Have you ever thought about what that means to ask Almighty God to deliver the sun and merge it with the earth? Think about this for a moment. Is that the most intelligent course of action? But it sure did get my attention to see that pickup drive up and say, Specialist Hutchins, you've had a death in the family. Because as I said, my father's getting old. That's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting my cousin, because I'm like a couple of months his senior. Now we're talking Whitney Houston, the bodyguard, Vanguard, is already number one, breaking all kinds of records, the greatest love of all. Now, I'll just give you a quick remedy. Define heaven for me. I define heaven for me without you. Paradise Take me to paradise. Operation Paradise Hawaiian Style. That part about a diamond in the rough. CIA, if you haven't kept up with President John F. Kennedy, it's probably because you let him get shot or you shot him yourself. If they intended to defend, preserve, and protect the President of the United States of America, they wouldn't have shot him in the Ford Theater. As I was saying before, they're trying to play catch up, and President Donald John Trump, this is your official United States Central Intelligence Agency. I'm here to inform you that President Abraham Lincoln is dead as of April 14th, 1865. Now, when that agent leaves, that's the most intelligent briefing as soon as they announced your President-elect Donald John Trump you're ever going to receive. Because that's a few years behind everybody else, the rest of us, ain't it, President Donald John Trump? I'm trying to get you up to speed like Taking Care of Business, TLC, Tender Loving Care. Anime is gay. I'm here to watch you. Watch on, listen on. I hope you learn something, YouTubers. How can you possibly legally steal someone's identity? And what are you trying to do? Terrorize children by saying, don't let them know your Social Security number. You know, I got a real suspicion that Uncle Sugar Daddy, as we called him, and you know what U.S. Army means, girls? Uncle Sugar ain't released me yet. But there comes a point where you say, as in GI Blues, you ever watch it? Stay with me, don't get ahead of me now. He'll say it on that screen, and I'm talking about the one and only Operation Elvis. I joined the wrong outfit. Stop right here. I'm a girl. Can you review your favorite record? Kettle on water. Let me back up and favorite female record. See, I used to think, can I sit down and talk to y'all on YouTube, or do I need to go out and teach Mr. Chief of Intelligence a little bit more? Because he's still wondering why he can't get to the Ford Theater. The reason why is because it's no longer the 19th century. Mr. CIA Chief of Intelligence, you trying to get back to where? In the 20th century? I'm trying to get caught up to the 21st. You know? Give me a second. I'm trying to multitask here. For those of you that fell asleep, the endowment stone, stop right here. Keep those three words, because that's the part they always steal from me. Don't let him know what. I think by now we know the Pentagon's on fire and burning. Go tell that to President Donald John Trump I as soon as he's inaugurated. Now, that's why if you think back, he's saying it right there on TV. You people that are trying to brief me, stay away from me, because he knows what I know. If anybody was born with an American Express card, and that's what I've asked, and when that's documented on record, American Express recoveries, meaning if your American Express is lost or stolen, we should be able to be American Express found your card. By the time, like, how come all of us people using American Express card for fraud are being prosecuted? Because it's called CID Fraud Division. Ever hear of credit card fraud? How did you know where I was? I'm using future technology that's already 1,000,000 years ahead of you. I didn't say one day, I said 1,000,000 years ahead of you Baptists. before he comes in here, I hope you people on YouTubers, will grab your neighbors just for fun. Because when he comes in, this is only for people that are 18 and under that have a sense of humor. Because it's called Walking the Dog for Arkansas State Police. Shh, don't tell your neighbors. Oh, antiquity. What would the ancient one be? Stay with me, people. If I can do this in the 21st century, that's what's the problem. Gravitational force is not letting me launch anything. How high can I aim? For some reason, I keep going back down. Aim high. Sorry, but I'm not on the moon yet. Just bear with me. Creative imagination, people. I'm up here somewhere because I'm starting to see angels. Hold it, I'm breaking character. If we were live on TV, that's not, you got to stay. You can't start laughing because it messes us up. Who would have ever thought that heaven would have this many angels? Little precious angels. What's your name, young lady? Who? Britney Spears. That's the highest level of Britney Spears universe you can attain. Been a million years or so. Some reason the earth gravity keeps trying to pull me back. But I'm so much more comfortable up here in this Britney Spears universe. If I had a Coors Light ice cold in the bottle, I think I could probably get really in the spirit, if you know what I mean. And a preacher out there says, brother, that's the wrong spirit. Britney Spears security, how did Chowderhead #1 get in here? Let me go teach him the difference between right and wrong. When the students are ready, the master will appear. You have had enough beat on me. Don't let stupidity pull you back down to the lower vortex of insanity. Just, have you ever been to finishing school, young lady? Now, while you're here crying, is that your father? Are you her birth father? Are you her birth mother? You have to stay here. Make sure your video is on, because after today, if you decide to go another way, fine. You have to work and think, intellectually labor in order to give birth to wisdom, which I will define as a science that deals with wise people. Not a bunch of ignorant baboons trying to throw a bone up and it comes back down. And baboon number one, the first Baptist pastor, was what? Lieutenant General Patrick Cleburne. Just because he threw a bone up in the air and it let him back down, they made him a lieutenant general in the baboon Baptist world. Don't get back down there on the baboon Baptist level. What did Yohanan the Baptismo tell you? If you call yourself a Baptist, the next time you dunk somebody, you'll be inside the sun, trying to ask to get out. I ain't the one that stood before the Son of God and said, I'm a Baptist. Boom! Even an intelligent person would kind of think about the one that's sitting on that celestial throne as the celestial Santa Claus. What's that? Who's got a Bugs Bunny? Joyce Meyer's ministry has a Bugs Bunny lawsuit against me. Now, we started this to get through a lot of stress because I remember Diana on a landmine. Yes, she should have been the most protected. She should have had more. Everybody there should have been seeing my Jolly Rogers, Mr. International Order, Death and Destruction. Because if the first step you go, boom, he got blowed up. I think we need to correct a few things here. You either are going to live or die. What a profound statement to make. That sure sounded a lot like the voice of Joyce Meyer. Oh, gotcha. Thank you for enlightening me if that was the voice of Miss Joyce Meyer. Now, to finish my thought before I get interrupted again, I'm just a diamond in the rough. He looking pretty rough to me. Yeah, and it may get rougher. Because I got to get through World War I, World War II, and Harmigda. How about you? You're not going to get there by saying, would everybody close their eyes pretty please? No, while I'm in China, I intend to keep my eyes wide open because especially if it's blackout conditions, even the snap of a twig. Because we're not in the First Baptist Church of Heber Springs anymore. Hey. As to the not answering the phone, our systems check, it goes all the way through. You got to remember, we have to come from inside the sun, clear cellular communications. This is what, again, I'm a million years light speed. They've got to click and chick and da-da-da-da. As far as where we're at right now, Ms. Britney Spears, they're kind of, let me just keep talking and maybe we'll get the message sooner or later. See, I should be able to, on any phone, anywhere on earth, the first thing that I should be able to key up is 3 digits, 666, and secure it. But they won't let us do that. The Britney Spears operation was faked. Then you that are using that picture of Britney Spears need to go through and have YouTube clear everybody using that name and picture and likeness and take them down. Because that's what Star Tracker was put up through NASA to do, to track the stars. But somebody got the bright idea. Britney Spears is going to be checking her security. Let's just mess with Miss Britney Spears and boom, license plate number 1. Now, you know what? What they did is interfere with a level of intelligence that's so far beyond their thinking that they're law enforcement. Because when we left Earth orbit, I said, we are not Earthlings anymore. That's where they miss it every time. So here we go, laboriously, intellectually thinking to ourselves, Miss Britney Spears may have a higher level of intelligence in some things and be completely oblivious in other things of what's being committed and done in her name. I am the real Britney Spears. You are talking about my clone. Gotcha. And this is the problem. I don't have to say I'm the real YouTube. I'm the real planet Earth. I'm living in the real, as far as living in the real universe, some of you people on YouTube, I am beginning to wonder if the universe even exists, or in a few moments will cease to exist. Like if I just did this, just for fun. You don't understand, little girls, if you write this down or remember it, you might have a key that leads to some, what was it called? I just thought it was funny because Joyce Meyer, she may have died 100 years ago, but that's what I do in the future. I'm a genetic engineer. I had to start out with the United States Army Corps of Engineer, 84th Engineer Battalion, which is still back in like the, 2000 BCE, relatively speaking. A genetic engineer. You see, what I was doing when I was very young, and this is the secret, same thing that's absolute gospel if you've got your Walt Disney Bible. If you don't have a Walt Disney Bible, ask your mama to provide one. And yes, I'll do this right now because I don't need Granny to have a heart attack trying to figure this out. If it's got the Disney logo on it, pick it up. Because it wouldn't have the Disney logo on it. Or remember Hannah Montana? Oh my goodness, do you know, if you had some money back in the day and it had the Hannah Montana logo, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that I've seen down through the years of 1,000 years. But you know what? Even the Hannah Montana logo and a little figurine is still not as valuable as having the real Hannah Montana, whoever she may be, because of the best of both worlds. There'll never be another Christina Grimmie. Ugh. This is for you Britney Spears people or those aspiring to be. Don't let this get into the Miley Cyrus camp. Now, what I'm doing, if girls act the way they do when President Ronald Reagan was, we're trying to get a Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, have a fun day thing going. Give me a word that a 5-year-old girl would not ordinarily use. And can you spell it for me, please? Solipsism. Solipsism. And that comes with a parenthesis from the mind of the all-powerful Britney Spears people, trying to get her on stage in Las Vegas without all of the fear and violence and terrorism. Genuine paths, its genuine path, number one, will lead beyond itself. You know, let me demonstrate it kind of like this. I wonder who planted that pointer. Point the way. Point the way. Now, if my ambition is to be chief of intelligence for NASA, I wasn't in kindergarten that day in Lemoore Naval Air Station just by accident. I had been tested to get there. It's an elite class. But one day, like President John F. Kennedy said, the torch has to be passed to a new generation. Alicia Sacramone, she didn't get to the Olympics without working for it. Peter Criss didn't play drums for Kiss without practicing for it. I wish I could inspire somebody to think about a solipsism with me. I may start something that eventually gets people started thinking in any direction they will please, whether it's commercial. That means you can start a business with it and start traveling with 3 cards from day one: American Express, Carte Blanche, and Diners Club. That's considered pretty relatively a fine way to start traveling. But somebody might be saying, took me my 100th birthday, Timothy. I'm talking to a man that I was all ears because he had those 3 and he's teaching me. Now, what keeps happening is all they want is the old man to die so they can steal all his shit. He wanted to give me basically the lap of luxury for the rest of my life because he earned those 3 cards by being an oil man from the days of his youth. That's what Kalinga Foothills was well renowned for. But I never saw a dime of it. Mr. Howard Hughes, ever hear of Hughes Aircraft? I have a tendency to have this effect on people from the days of my youth. John T. Bragg was impressed with me. He intended to turn over the keys to the business as a turnkey business thing, but ain't going to see any of it. Why does this always happen? Because they steal all your shit. You said the word shit, you need to go outside, Potty Mouth. Well, it's a different generation, but I think it's about time to do exactly that. Death is irreversible. Stop right there. That might be true in your world, but what if I, as death, heretofore known as the Grim Reaper of souls, some people refer to me that remember me as the slimy soul sucker. That's one thing Elvis don't have any experience at. Used to be able to just come in and just torment these Marines. Slimy soul sucker again. They can't stop me. But death is irreversible. Let me try that theory. But as I was saying before I was diverted, Dracula, this is your son. Okay, just write what you do. Now, we got through this. Let me give you my statement. Now that refers to me in person here on YouTube. This is for all of you that are like satanic wannabes that don't know the difference between what's happened at Las Vegas with losing all of our stars and Dimebag Darrell, remember? We have, just stay with me. Let me give you my statement. You can put this out there to the known and unknown universe and whatever's beyond it. I do not require anyone to die or kill for me. I never have and never will. However, now it's that however that'll get you. I do expect certain things. For an example, I expect contentment for myself as Operation Madonna. I was standing there. We did that on purpose. There's the Madonna album and the window. And I'm standing there as a little boy. I would love to have the money to buy this album. To think that the Holy Virgin, the Mother of our Lord, came down from the throne of celestial glory. Just went into a recording studio as 100% pure virgin Madonna. By the time I got through with my prayer, the sisters were like, you just remember what I said. They're just trying to make fun and mock. And I said, sisters, I pay very special attention to this. So I take it to their door in tears, and I'm like, I understand, sisters, I won't buy any more of that abominable filth. Now, when I walk away, this is pretty much how I am. You got to come in such a way that you remember Christina Grimmie, because what happened on The Voice? Boom! Superstar reaction. Announced her presence in such a way that somebody, let's just say, misguided. Remember Operation Frankie and Johnny? See, Elvis got shot in the film because absolutely, that's one thing he worked at day and night. His safety and security, because he dreamed about being on that Las Vegas stage and getting shot dead. If he was still here, he would learn who was behind all of it, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is why he actually needed to go see President Richard Milhouse Nixon, because nobody was wiser than President Nixon. Do not ever trust the FBI. Now they'll say, oh, we would never kill Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. We would never assassinate the Pope. Sell that to somebody else. Oh, but we've changed. And now you haven't. Get away from me. Don't need none of your Federalist bullshit. I expect, oh yeah, that day. Inspiration. What inspires you? Who inspires you? Now, isn't it something? Perfect case in point, Betsy Ross Elementary. Somebody doesn't like or appreciate what's going on and blah, 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 blah. It's not according to our religious tradition or teaching. Now, in diversity, it can go one of two ways, and I'm already at 45 minutes. But what does diversity mean? I oppose what you're doing because you're different than us. Well, sir, with all due respect, generally speaking, that's what diversity is. I don't care. Everybody in Betsy Ross Elementary has to conform to our religion. No, they don't. You can leave. If I do anything, I put a high price on originality, not conformity. I reach for the highest star and the brightest. Oh, hold on. I accidentally grabbed the sun and brought it down. If I hadn't, you see that? If I hadn't brought the sun down out of the sky, it would have fried us all. Let me go put the sun back up in the sky. Don't ever... That's a little secret from Archimedes Shamar. If you don't know what Archimedes Shamar does, he can reproduce Tinkerbell fairy dust. However, I don't believe in Tinkerbell. It's just, you know what I'm saying. Oh, the sun is back. Did you notice how dark it got out there? You got to watch where I put my hands, because when I said I reached for the stars and generally the brightest one, I had forgotten that the sun is at least in our Milky Way galaxy. Just about burned my hand. If I hadn't let go of the sun there, you know what I'm saying? Whew, I'm glad that didn't land on my head. Now, as far as Tinkerbell, I just don't believe in Tinkerbell. You know what I'm saying? I believe in truth and reality. Now, as I was saying, imagine that a craft comes from another place, another time, and says, I'm here to save everybody. Excuse me? I'm here to save you guys. Where are you from? I'm from another universe. I'm perfectly content with this one. Okay, let's answer this.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message.
Operation Britney Spears Security, how may I help you? Britney Spears Security, how may I help you? Hello, alien creatures from another dimension. I'm walking on planet Earth. Where are you? Death is irreversible. You know what really bothers me about that? See, I'm from a genetic engineering manufacturing plant that I remember when I was on Earth watching Have Rocket Will Travel, Three Stooges. Marry that as a double feature to Three Stooges in Orbit. And if you've heard this for the first time, why is that important? Because it's the way we actually went to the moon. It shows it in the film, both ways. And the inevitable result of that foo moment, you'll see it in the film. Because what's actually being created there is actually what we all in the military know was happening at my experience of Lemoore Naval Air Station Ville Drip on 2nd September 1969. It's called the drill. It's like full-blown nuclear war alert status. So you either do your job or get blowed up. Now, Three Stooges in Orbit and Have Rocket Will Travel. See if there's something that comes together in those two double features. But if I was going to go Operation Elvis, I just marry it to a triple feature, call it The Reluctant Astronaut, because picture number 3 for contracted for 1963, if you don't know it, picks up where it happened at the World's Fair left off. He's signing up to go into the astronaut training program. That would have been like the ideal Elvis movie, where he actually goes into space and saves the day. But I can only travel as far as the imagination will permit me. Now, I love how the principle stands, because I'm one of those lesbian worshipers. I mean, to get my attention, now this actually happened. I'm already on status going to Desert Chill, Desert Storm. Walked in. Any lesbians in here? Got immediate attention because we're in uniform. Let them know if there are any lesbians here, all of their whatever they need taken care of from me. You know, I was the only guy in the whole place. I said, that's how I'm going in for Pentagon operations, because in the military, I said, don't ask, don't tell. Yeah. But one day, I believe that even a lesbian can fly off into space. I sometimes take requests, but yeah, I'm just going to let you leave your comments and let them stand. Now, about this entering new realm stuff, you gamers, let me say something. I don't play a lot of games, but I remember when I ran up the debt of California, almost equal to the national debt of the U.S., because the governor and I had a thing going where, can you sing Best of Both Worlds? Miley Cyrus nailed that one. I can't match it. You know what I'm saying? However, used to play some Space Ace. Oh, how I was a Space Ace fanatic. Governor Ronald Reagan and even Governor Pat Brown. What are you doing? I got to have enough quarters till I become expert and master it. Just shooting the quarters in there. How many quarters can the Federal Reserve Bank publish today? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, the thinking. Young man, I was trying to help, but the whole thing is how I used to love me some Space Ace. And I was thinking, that's kind of like a theme from Space Ace Frehley. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told you, I came from outer space. But the place I don't like empty space in is between my ears, for those of you that understand the kind of ideology that I'm talking about. Let me go back for a moment. I was going to say something. These are just little helpful hints to remind me in case I lose my place. If you don't know, the adamant stone is also called, wink my left eye, flint. Now, for you 2 billion BCE stuck in a rut people, that's a flint. Oh, fire! We're burning up. That's what it takes to get into the sun. You got to emerge fire with fire. Flintstones. There's actually a Flintstone cartoon that shows them opening the door and going through in animated form the 1964 World's Fair. But hold up one. There's some NASA secrets involved in there, girls that aspire to get into the astronaut program. As soon as you graduate, hey, I'm losing gravity. What's happening to me? Whoa. Whoa. What are you doing? I was just pretending like I was in outer space. You don't be doing that. You make us nervous. And why is that, NASA? Because you haven't left Earth yet as Apollo 1. Please sing Flintstones. Thank you. I'll take that request. Flintstones is that right there, girls. Do not play with these. My cousin lived out his whole life because he was playing with one of these and caught his flannel pajamas on fire. He would have died, but he spent the rest of his life with all those scars, and he was cooking at what they used to call Bob's Big Boy, and the guy was there. He not cooking for because of the scars. Had to sit there and fight for his life over this. You see, if it's in Apollo 1, that's the last words those 3 astronauts said. We are burning up. Same thing with Challenger. See, they're supposed to have a safety hatch. What happened? How come they didn't how come they didn't live instead of die? And so, as we continue on, use intelligence. And what is it? That's my mantra. People that have been my YouTube subscribers for a little while. My purpose or objective is to provoke your mind, because do you know what an agent provocateur is? You can look it up. That's my status, agent provocateur, because I'm a provoker. Now that some questions are provocative and some questions, I'm just doing my still here on Earth thing, but I made them nervous because they actually, according to the match of after the thing launched, it looks like I actually had already crossed the Van Allen belt, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I enjoyed my experience on NASA. I didn't enjoy what was going on in 911 or the fact that I had to rectify and remedy what I was trying to get right the first time inside the tunnel for the United States Army Pacific Command. Because when I landed in Honolulu International Airport, it didn't look like GI Blues. Every computer that the Pentagon had was down. Had to get all the experts, and the simple remedy is don't ever trust Bill Gates or anything if it's Microsoft or it's got any association or connection to Bill Gates. What's it say in 2001: A Space Odyssey? IBM. What is it in the World's Fair 1964? International Business Machines. And the movie HAL, meaning IBM. 1.0 doesn't come around till about 1981. But if they don't get it right the first time and they blast you into oblivion, that's what Space Odyssey 2001 is trying to tell you. When you get out there and everything's malfunctioning, what are you going to do? We need to start thinking about this before we launch ourselves and our planet into oblivion. For those of you that like to have me provoke your minds and stimulate your imagination, how did we really get to the moon? Miley Cyrus thinks it's having to do with the Mickey Mouse Club. And you know what? She's right, because that's what he did. Yay, Mickey. Yay, Mickey. Now look at little Donald Duck. He's pissed off because Mickey made it M-I-C-K-E-Y. Donald Duck. Donald, you need to get out of here. This is not the Donald Duck Club. I think you can leave. I think you got a little bitty. I'm not going to sit there and say DONALDDUCK. Hey, but maybe I can start a Donald Duck. Profundity is not profanity. Some people just need to loosen their shirts and lighten up, people. Just because the earth blowed up without any possibility of recoveries, no cause for concern. Now, I think I dealt with the Flintstone factor, if you know what I mean, and those of you that don't know what I mean, did I tell you I got a UHF transmitter? Read us a bedtime story. You know what? Let's do exactly that. Now, what I'm doing is, in certain people's minds, let's bow our knees and pray that somebody will find something to read to some of our girls. Now, here's what I'm saying to you. Just because I dress in black and have an inverted pentagram and you don't like my appearance doesn't mean you're going to force me by whatever you do to submit or surrender my universe and substitute it for yours. Now, I let that stand as it is. I just move on down the line. Let's try to keep it down here on the level where even a 3-year-old, well, let's begin with new birth. New birth. Now, what or who has inspired you? I remember the Gene Scott days. He'd been dead for how many years? King's House 1. The Lion of the Tribe. That's a little bit too rich for a 3-year-old girl. But you know what? Aim high. How high can you aim? That's a royal lineage, if you don't know. That's a royal society that I'm showing. Not that it has anything to do with Dr. Eugene Scott or University Network, because apparently all the king's houses and all the king's horses blew up. That's why we went into the queen's chambers to pull up a few things that Can't wait for Halloween for some reason. You know, you got to come in such a way that you get Dracula's attention. Does Dracula go around sucking people's necks and drawing blood? Do you know what the blood is that Dracula drinks? It's wine. Do you know why, girls? It's so much better than human blood. So when I say, here's to ya, I just drank the blood of the grape. It's called communion. It's done in such a way that it's awe-inspiring to watch the transformation from way down a million years ago when the Flintstone is. But see, I love the Flintstones. But there's one very special. Hold on. Oh, wow. The artist that did the artwork, if I could buy a huge banner of that right there, it just got my name written on. You see this? If I didn't know better, I'd swear he used me for the model. And all I did at the time was tell him we're trying to get the patents and the trademarks on just the word Dracula, even with the Dracula logo. The original intent was to form my own satanic goth band, but some people objected to it. So, you know, say la vie. And because as I began this YouTube experience, I was just going to pop in and say hello and how's it going? But they were like, this guy needs to be pulled off. He was spinning around dancing naked. Well, that's the way I was born, in my birthday suit. Now see what they say. Take it up. Do you believe in God? Take it up with God. If you don't believe in God, just don't believe in God. You know, declare you, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, man, but just do it on your own time. Don't come around me and think that's a Dracula comic, and if you don't give it up, I'll beat you to death. No, that is like Dracula gold to me for some reason. It's like it's got my name on it. Now, don't let your mama see that, because I remember the day. Them kind of comics used to be forbidden in the Pentecostal Church of God. Trust me, people. Pentecostal will only take you to a certain level. Did I get diverted? Yeah, but see, there are diversionary centers. But let me explain it in terms adults can understand. Diversionary centers that Governor Asa Hutchinson are talking about, at least it's better than being in the penitentiary or the Claiborne County Jail because you're not a Baptist. At least take people to places where they can actually get people that understand that they're unemployed veterans. They don't need to have their necks broken because they went to Vietnam and can't get help through the Veterans Administration, which President Donald John Trump has promised to try to rectify. What's the message say?
1 new message and 6 old messages.
Really?
Brittany Spears Security. How may I help you?
How can I send a message to myself?
Hello, alien creatures from another dimension.
How did that happen?
Thursday, 5:58 a.m.
Oh, I must have sent that message out to space a million years ago. It is true. It's out there somewhere. Remember X-Files? Oh, diversion. It is true. There's so much stuff that I see. This is what I will always respect about Dr. Eugene Scott. You have to be 21 to get into the King's house. Because if you're under 21, there's a special bus just for you. Go to the San Diego Zoo, go to the playground, because it ain't about you except anything. It's about you having fun and being raised by people intelligent enough to seek out a higher form of life. Let's see. Did I lose somebody? Trying to keep up with multitasking here, but however that it is. Oh, yes, sir. I got to do the I Love Lucy thing. I almost, wait. Of the two, Columbia Broadcasting System and Dumont, see, I'm giving myself prompts and hints without a teleprompter. Now, we love you, President Obama. So I hope you can take a little bit of parody. I am President Barack H. Obama, and I would like to be the next president-elect, President Barack H. Obama. He'll stand there all day because I took all the teleprompter away just to see if he could quickly catch himself. Now, see, he did get to be pretty good at expert because generally speaking, they don't do what I do. I speak extemporaneously. Now, there's a word for you, girls, that's not frequently used by 5-year-olds. Extemporaneous. Spell it, please. What does it mean? Free thought. Just go with the flow, man. So you agree, you concur or non-concur. There's another word that 5-year-olds don't, but you'll use it a lot in the military because that's where I got it from. Do you agree with that? I non-concur. And we're trying to demote me to the I haven't been promoted above the rank of Private E1 and refuse to be promoted to Private E2. Now, if you don't know it, when you graduate from basic combat training, if you stand that way, you'll be amazed at how quickly you get chaptered and mustered out. Say, thank God, I'm glad I'm a better person for having graduated from basic combat training, but I'm not just going to go through another 1,000 years of lies, and be treated like a pile of manure because I'm a veteran. Because as George Gabby Hayes would say back in the day, I'm again it. Now, let's try to create a generation that is of enduring value. So I was going to give a quick reminder myself, do you know that even where you're sitting, young man, whoever you are, whatever your name, oh, you're Dracula. Remember we had this conversation a long time ago, like 1,000,000 years ago? If on 19 July 2018, all governments of the world have no intelligence like yours because of all of the people that were in that one golden ring that you had at age 5 and only you, they don't have it. Could you pass that key onto their intelligence? Say you're on cybersecurity. The only key I learned that I would ever need is the honeymooners. Now, even if you're Britney Spears or little Miley Cyrus or Selena Gomez, it's kind of, I remember when Selena Gomez on Facebook, when I had a Facebook, I think it was Facebook, wasn't it? I typed in there, you're still no Miley Cyrus. And I did it because if she watches Operation Change of Habit, she'd never survive the ghetto as Selena Gomez stands. She would never survive Vietnam. So I'm trying to keep her from getting her nose broken because after 58,286 body bags, watch Casualties of War, Selena Gomez, and we actually got actual footage of the real thing. We can go down body bag by body bag. Why did they just want to dig a big old hole and shove 58,286 worthless people in a manure pile of a situation they created over there in a country they want to rename Vietnam? Then we come home and we can't even get a cup of coffee at McDonald's. You see why a lot of stuff is happening as the result of Vietnam. But I'm Desert Storm. And half of us that were the guinea pigs testing for, why don't we just drop the bomb and destroy it? Because it don't make any sense to us. And for us Disney people, who do you worship? You have to hard copy it. Whatever inspires me on site. It's got to be, it's got to be past World War II. As much as my pinup girl in World War II, Carol Landis, I married her, but she didn't last with me very long. She committed suicide on July 4th, 1948. I need somebody that, what day and time is it? I need a new pinup girl. That's the 21st century. I need somebody that can recover and bring me out of the sun right to Clear Channel Operation Donny Osmond if they got to go to Walt Disney Court and try Goofy for not being Mickey Mouse. Britney Spears. What happened? I don't know. Somebody. What did he say before he jumped out of the plane? I don't know, but I didn't get it. He was here and gone, but he did you see that? Hey, what time? See, it's already been an hour and 12 minutes, and I'm still having fun because I refuse to give up my autonomy to say, clicking my heels together 3 times, take me to Disneyland. Take me to Disneyland. I had that dream when I was 12. You know when I got to Disneyland? 12. Because Vanita Thompson said, you want to really go to Disneyland? If you get me X number of subscribers, knocked on the first door. The lady, even the head guy from Fresno Bees, like, she says, absolutely not. The last time I subscribed, I'm Sunday only subscriber. He threw it in my flower bed, blah, blah, blah. And she's on, and I'm like, I am so sorry. That's the reason I'm here, ma'am. This gentleman out here works for the headquarters because we've noted that complaint. And I got down on my knees. If you help me win this trip to Disneyland, I promise you, I'll even let you give him his direct line and say his paper boy that made that promise in the name of the Fresno Bee, I will gently lay it right there where all you got to do is open the door and there's the paper. She said, son, if you'll do that for me and keep that promise. I said, Scout's honor is the last one I need to get me to Disneyland. Then it's going to take a lot more to get to Disney World, but just a Sunday only subscription is all I need. And she said, okay. Got in the car. He took me right back to Vanita Thompson, the lady that was over it all, and said, we need him in Fresno. He could sell, you know. But I've had some experience since 12 years old, and some of it negatory, destructive, and some of it. But see, what do you do when life gives you a lemon? They say, Britney Spears concert sold out today. How come it sold out when I'm the last in line? Because that's generally the way we stage these kinds of events. What's a Britney Spears? I don't know, but it must be important. It's helped bring me out of the fire twice. Pass it on down the line to Private E1 Britney Spears, whoever he is. He's doing something that I haven't seen done in a million years. Because I didn't think we could get beyond a million years. Now what was? Somebody asked for a bedtime story. I kept that one phrase because yes, I try to give credit to whom credit is due. Because I'm sorry, Selena Gomez is Selena Gomez. Now let me tell you something about I'm sorry. Don't say that. Don't. If you see law enforcement and they're trying to mess with you, do you realize that if you say the words, I'm sorry, you're under arrest because it's a concession of your guilt? You didn't know that, did you? Which is why I'm urging all of you to keep silent. Because all they're asking for is, do you have identification? Don't even say, I don't answer any questions. If you want to be covered in this, write this on a 3x5 index card. I am invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And acta non verba. Action, not words. Because if they take you to fingerprint you, if it's the first time you're being fingerprinted, make sure you sign it with your actual social security number all across the top. Because you know what you just did? You sold yourself into Lucid ID system that can't ever be altered because they'll come back and say, we got to run this again. No, that's it. That's my whole lawful identity. What are we going to do about this? He actually signed himself in as himself. Oh, the wonder of wonders of modern technology, huh? Because you'll never change my fingerprints and my social security number. Thank you very much. How can we get him back into being a criminal after he's had top secret celestial clearance and worked inside the Pentagon? I don't know. It's going to be kind of rough, but I'm sure we can figure out some kind of O.J. Simpson fraud or frame or do something if we have to go out there and arrest Britney Spears. Well, why do they want to arrest Britney Spears? Oh, she was probably drinking too many beers or something. Let's go and discuss this. If you can't find a hard copy of it, create it with a little bit of imagineering. If you have to use Operation Selena Gomez or Operation Britney Spears, or even better yet, put the Hannah Montana to it. You get the best of both worlds. Use your imagination. Let's go. We're rolling. Thanks to the rolling sea. Give me a countdown. 10, 9, 8. We're already 19 minutes over time, but that's okay. We're going to try to pole vault this into the hard copy of the Pentagon. Well, thank you for that. Muzi, on behalf of Selena Gomez Security, myself, I'm going to take you to a Walt Disney court on that charge. Selena Gomez is goofy, but not Mickey Mouse. That's the only response I'm going to give to that kind of silliness. If she's possessed by anything, she's contractually obligated to the companies which she's agreed to do video. How would you like to have the money to call up Selena Gomez? Imagine this. Selena, I need your persona non grata, acta non verba, because I got some ideas floating around. I already know, and if you don't, as far as I know, she's a Christian. Who cares? You can be anything you want in a Walt Disney universe, except demon-possessed is not one of them. Let me tell you what Walt Disney actual policy is. If you try to stick a figurine of Mickey Mouse or anything that's Walt Disney related to torture or to psychologically manipulate people, we can put you in the penitentiary for this because it's not Disney related. And even Adult Swim, we may win the case on this one. Pull out all Walt Disney figurines and characteristics because they're not endorsed by Walt Disney. They say, no, we still have it pending in the court if I need to put it up. But some of you girls need to go to bed. What are you doing up this late? My goodness, it's what, 8 o'clock? You ain't very good Walt Disney people if you're not in the bed. Walt Disney. Let's go. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Whoever's got the bedtime. Wizards of Waverly Place. Selena Gomez. Super duper high security key. Come and visit me. There once was a man who imagined himself, after having retrieved a swamp cooler and really believed in Tinkerbell because he watched Walt Disney World religiously. And somebody came by and it said U.S. government on it, and down below it said U.S., the logo of the United States Central Intelligence Agency, and they came by and said, you might believe in Tinkerbell, but we never will. Wake up, Tinkerbell! Wake up, Tinkerbell! Is that the brightest star in the heavens? Oh, so sorry, hold on. did the sun get back up there? I needed that little bit of Tinkerbell dust really, really, really quick. If they take away my Wizards of Waverly Place, they'll take away my dog with a blog, and they ain't doing that. Because I know what that G-force is all about. As I was saying before I got interrupted by a non-believer, Tinkerbell dust. Wow! Thank you, Tinkerbell. Thank you, Selena Gomez. But especially Genevieve and Elias. All I was doing was using a little bit of Imagineering. And I said, build me a SpaceX tractor trailer that will orbit Mars. And then all of a sudden, it appeared a Space Odyssey. Want to end this one? Is there any way I can link to a song and put it up here on KKFO, KAAY, the power and the glory? If you can't keep up and get logged off, I really need to do that because I'm at 123. What song would I like to inspire me today? Whatever I play on live cam. But I need to take a quick break because I need me some stuff that I'm not supposed to talk about that kind of perks me up. And, I've been working on these chemical juices and balances and stuff. But as a genetic engineer, if you lived up in the most messed up realm that you could possibly live, if you cross over on the deadline, they say death is irreversible. But what if you had? Just imagine, okay, that in the future there's such a technology that goes back and you, Selena Gomez, 24 hours before you're born, stand and watch yourself be born, see an heir and a spare. See, you'll hear this before, but especially if you if it hadn't been for that Tinkerbell dust, y'all have a good day.